Okay. Reese, the younger generations, kids that today are 20 years old, they probably know you better. See, our generation, we know you from films like Empire of the Senses. And the younger kids today, they know you because you did a film, which is called Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence, which of course was with an idol of the younger generation, which was David Bowie. How was it working with him?
In Japan, Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence was very, very popular, luckily. Perhaps it depends on not David Bowie, but Sakamoto, who played captain of Japanese army, and also Bito Takeshi, who played the sergeant of Japanese army. They are both very strong personality in Japanese young culture. Also, this connection to David Bowie or Western culture, young people are very interested in this film. Also, I would like to say this is almost the first picture a director described the both sides of war very equally. In Japanese film history, Japanese director always described the Japanese side. Even anti-war cinema, they always describe only Japanese side. They Japanese are so suffered by the war, or Japanese military fought very bravely, like that. Anyway, this is Japanese side. This is the first movie. It described both sides, Japanese side and foreign side, enemy side. So I'm very proud of this. I got a lot of questions in Western country, Mr. Oshima, how Japanese right wing or military reacted to this movie. So I replied, in Japan, everyone knows what Mr. Oshima was. So who didn't like me, didn't come to the theater.
Is that why the two sides of the world kiss each other?
Yes.
Is that what you believe?
Yeah, I think it's the most important thing.
And a couple of words about your next project. You told me you're shooting in Los Angeles next fall.
Yes, I'm planning to shoot a story of a Japanese. His name is Sesshu Hayakawa, who was the only one Japanese star in Hollywood. It's in 1910s and 20s, silent period of Hollywood. And so I would like to describe this star and the situation of Japanese in the States.
And is that going to be in high definition?
No, I'm sorry to say. Yes, I have no intention to make a movie by high definition in this stage. But I think if I could find good subject for high definition, I would like to do it.
And then she had to ask you one question. I will ask you one last question that she suggested, which I think is the best question. It's for you, what is important in life? What is the important things? I'm not talking about cinema specifically. What is important for you?
I would like to be very pleased, myself. I want to be very happy every day, and I will try everything to make me happy. And because if I am not happy, I can't make people happy.
If I may just go a little further, can you give me a couple of examples of things that make you happy?
For example, I always enjoy watching movies, even they are not so good. I want to enjoy them very much. And I'm always happy to meet whom I meet at the first time. It's me to thank you.
I just want to say one thing.
No, please, you have something.
No, but it's not a question, it's just a thing. So, you are the only Japanese director who when makes movies, when you talk about people, when you tell stories, you don't look at people, at stories, at anything like a Japanese, which are the other, like Kurosawa, like even the old one, that shows us the Japan, how is. You look in the stories in a way which is larger than the Japanese way. I don't know which. You are not interested where the story is. You just look into the story, into the people, into the attitude, the way they move. So in a different way, it seems like you are a bridge from Japan to Europe or to the other places. So this was a wonderful feeling, because when you watch the other Japanese movies, you have always the idea you stay behind the glass. You are watching in the zoo another culture, another people. So you are totally different in this, and this is maybe why you are so loved in Europe.
I enjoy Japanese culture, Japanese meal, Japanese dress, and also I can enjoy American, European, or Indian, or everything.
Guarda che escono gli uomini in alta definizione.
Voyez le paragraphe 17 bis.
Comment? Ah, le paragraphe 17, c'est pour de la
Les yeux, c'est...
Voilà.
Monsieur, mais non, mais... Merci encore de tout.
Merci pour tout.
Et on se verra bientôt.